Special counsel Robert Mueller got the shock of his career when his investigation uncovered the real Russian collusion, and there was no way he could cover it up. Using the FBI to do his search and seizures at different locations, the FBI agents found Hillary Clinton and Russian spies had placed a very well-known name in politics who was a traitor so high up in President Donald Trump's campaign, it will blow your mind. President Donald Trump has known for some time the information we are all just putting together. He is aware that special counsel Robert Mueller has reached a point where he can no longer cover up the immense crimes that occurred during the 2016 presidential election. Remember, the premise of Mueller's investigation was to prove Donald Trump and the Russians colluded together, first in the hacking of the Democratic National Committee servers, and then using the emails they found on the servers to degrade and embarrass Hillary Clinton to win the election. Instead of finding evidence of Trump working with the Russians, when Mueller raided Paul Manafort's home thinking that's where he'd find the smoking gun, he found evidence that Manafort was working for the Russians and Hillary. Now, this is truly a bombshell, so just take a minute and let that sink in. Robert Mueller didn't know what he had on Paul Manafort at first. It is just in the last 10 days or so that other information has come to light tying this all together. Manafort is good friends and worked with John Podesta's, Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, brother Tony Podesta. Manafort also has ties to pro-Russian operations in Ukraine. Manafort's ties were supposed to be the smoking gun proving Trump as the one colluding with the Russians. Whoever recommended Manafort as the man Trump needed to hire to work on his campaign is also guilty of setting Trump up. The Democrats and Trump haters kept making a huge deal out of Don Trump Jr.'s meeting with the Russian lawyer named Natalia Veselnitskaya. The meeting was part of the setup by the deep state, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and the Russians to make Trump look guilty of colluding with the Russians. How do we know Natalia Veselnitskaya did not set up the meeting with Trump Jr.? No, that was done by Aras and Amina Galarov, a billionaire Russian father-son duo who befriended Trump during the 2013 Miss Universe contest held in Russia. The son is apparently a famous singer in Russia and was an entertainer at the pageant. According to emails provided by Don Jr., he was contacted by the father-son duo who he knew from the pageant. They told him that they had some dirt on Hillary Clinton and asked if they could meet with him. Don Jr. thought, okay, why not? Now, instead of these billionaires showing up for the meeting, Don Jr. is taken aback when Natalia Veselnitskaya walks into his office, someone he does not know. Natalia Veselnitskaya is a Russian operative who was working for Fusion GPS, the firm Hillary Clinton hired to dig up dirt on Donald Trump and helped assemble the Steeler Russian dossier. She was sent into Trump Tower to meet with Don Jr. in a sting operation. Now, tying this all together, only 2 days ago does an article come out telling us what Mueller's raid was looking for at Manafort's home. Now, it's looking like Manafort was in on setting up the meeting, right? Why would Manafort be communicating with these Russian billionaires in the entertainment industry? These were acquaintances of Trump, not Manafort. Real Clear Politics reports back in October 2017, Fox News' Tucker Carlson said he has a source who told him that the Podesta brothers and Paul Manafort are the central figures Robert Mueller's investigation, not President Trump. The source, Carlson said, told him about events that implicate Manafort, the Podesta brothers, Hillary Clinton and her State Department, and Russian oligarchs. The source has been interviewed by Mueller's independent investigators. Look, Mueller and his team were attempting to back up the case that Trump had colluded with the Russians and this Don Jr. Meeting was their smoking gun, but it backfired. They couldn't hide the incriminating evidence they seized against Manafort as the traitor inside the Trump campaign. Too many FBI agents would have gotten a look at all the evidence. But Mueller was still hellbent on getting Trump. He turned his investigation toward Trump's attorney Michael Cohen. Supposedly, Mueller was sure Cohen had taken a six-figure payment from a Ukrainian steel tycoon Viktor Pinchuk in 2015 for then-candidate Trump, who did a video conference for Pinchuk in exchange for the money. Folks, this was another setup by the deep state, like the Natalia Veselnitskaya meeting. So Pinchuk, who Trump has never met, tells him, "Hey, I'll pay you $150,000 speaking fee to do a video conference." Sounds good to Trump, why not? So who is Viktor Pinchuk? The Clintons have repeatedly jetted to his Black Sea resort to attend his galas. They've also accepted between $10 million and $25 million from his foundation for the Clinton Foundation, according to the group's website. Hillary Clinton rewarded him frequent access to the Department of State while she was secretary. Pinchuk also was tied to allegedly illegal sales to Iran while Hillary headed the State Department, reports the Daily Caller. Total setup of Trump, right? Here's the kicker, get ready for Ag Jeff Sessions to finally show some killer instinct. Remember, Sessions is recused from anything that has to do with Trump and Russian collusion. Attorney General Jeff Sessions will not recuse himself from the ongoing investigation into President Donald Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen, according to a new report. Sessions, who previously recused himself from the special counsel probe into Russian interference in the 2016 election, has no plans to do the same for the criminal investigation of Trump's longtime personal lawyer, whose home, office, and hotel room were raided by the FBI a few weeks back, according to Bloomberg. What? Yep, so what does that tell us? This Cohen investigation, where they raided everything the guy had, has nothing to do with Trump and Russian collusion, or Sessions couldn't get near it, thus this Pinchuk nonsense didn't pan out either. In the last 24-48 hours, the Russian rat Natalia Veselnitskaya is freaking out. She's screaming that Fusion GPS was set up and did nothing wrong. She's feeling the heat. Enter Rudy Giuliani, hired by Trump to help Mueller wrap this up. The question remains, who advised Donald Trump to hire Paul Manafort? We'll get our answer in the weeks to come, but some heads better roll or there will be a cry of outrage from the American people the likes the swamp has never seen or heard.